MTW, or machine tool wiring, is a type of single conductor wire commonly used in machine tools, appliances, and control cabinets. It's important to understand its properties and how to size it correctly for safe and effective electrical installations. When selecting and sizing MTW cable, several factors come into play, including ampacity, voltage rating, temperature rating, and the specific application. Ampacity refers to the current carrying capacity of the conductor. The correct ampacity is crucial to prevent overheating and potential fire hazards. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, provides tables that specify the allowable ampacities for different wire sizes and insulation types under various conditions. For MTW cable, you'll typically find the ampacity ratings in NEC Table 310.15b16 or similar tables, depending on the specific code cycle. These tables provide ampacity values based on the wire gauge, insulation type, and the ambient temperature. It's essential to select a wire size with an ampacity that is equal to or greater than the calculated load current. The voltage rating of the MTW cable must be suitable for the application. Ensure that the cable's voltage rating is higher than the maximum voltage expected in the circuit. Common voltage ratings for MTW cable are 600 volts and 1000 volts. The temperature rating of MTW cable indicates the maximum temperature at which the cable can operate safely. MTW cable is typically rated for 90 degrees Celsius for dry locations and 60 degrees Celsius or 75 degrees Celsius for wet locations or when exposed to oil or coolant. It's important to consider the ambient temperature and any potential heat sources when selecting the appropriate temperature rating. Now let's consider some general guidelines for selecting MTW cable. Firstly, identify the application. Determine the specific use case for the MTW cable, such as machine tool wiring, appliance wiring, or control cabinet wiring. This will help you narrow down the appropriate cable type and ratings. Secondly, calculate the load current. Determine the maximum current that the cable will be expected to carry. This calculation should include any applicable dating factors for ambient temperature, conductor bundling, or other conditions. Thirdly, select the appropriate wire size. Using the NEC ampacity tables, select a wire size with an ampacity that is equal to or greater than the calculated load current. Ensure that the wire size is also compatible with the terminals and connectors being used. Fourthly, verify the voltage and temperature ratings. Confirm that the MTW cable's voltage and temperature ratings are suitable for the application and the environmental conditions. Fifthly, consider the environmental conditions. Evaluate the environmental conditions to which the cable will be exposed, such as temperature, moisture, oil, chemicals, and mechanical stress. Select a cable that is designed to withstand these conditions. Finally, check for UL listing. Ensure that the MTW cable is listed by Underwriters Laboratories or UL or another recognized testing laboratory. UL listing indicates that the cable has been tested and meets applicable safety standards. Now let's move on to understanding the various wire types. The world of electrical wiring can indeed seem like an alphabet soup due to the numerous cable and wire types available. Each type is designed for specific applications and environments, making it crucial to understand their differences. Here's a breakdown of some common wire types beyond MTW, along with their typical uses and characteristics. THHN and THWN are among the most commonly used building wires for general-purpose wiring. THHN stands for thermoplastic high heat resistant nylon coated. It is primarily used in dry locations with a maximum operating temperature of 90 degrees Celsius. THWN stands for thermoplastic heat and water resistant nylon coated. It can be used in both wet and dry locations. THWN-2 is an updated version with a 90 degrees Celsius rating in both wet and dry locations. Both THHN and THWN wires are suitable for conduit and cable trays. Next is XHHW, which stands for cross-linked polyethylene high heat resistant water resistant. It's another common building wire known for its excellent moisture and heat resistance. It can be used in both wet and dry locations. XHHW-2 has a 90 degrees Celsius rating in both wet and dry locations, similar to THWN-2. U stands for Underground Service Entrance Cable. It's designed for direct burial applications, bringing power from the utility transformer to the building's service panel. USM-2 has a 90 degrees Celsius rating in both wet and dry locations. SC and SER cable are service entrance cables used to connect the utility power to the building's electrical panel. SC cable has a flame retardant and moisture resistant covering. SER cable has individual conductors with a flame retardant and moisture resistant covering. NMB cable stands for non-metallic sheath cable. It's commonly used for residential wiring for branch circuits for outlets, lights, and switches. It contains 2 or more insulated conductors and a grounding wire wrapped in a plastic jacket. UFB cable stands for underground feeder cable. It's designed for direct burial applications, feeding power to detached garages, sheds, or outdoor lighting. MC cable stands for metal-clad cable. It consists of insulated conductors enclosed in a flexible metal sheath. It's used for both exposed and concealed wiring in dry locations. AC cable stands for armored cable. It's similar to MC cable, but with a different type of armor. It's often used for remodeling projects. Flexible cords are stranded wires used for connecting appliances, lamps, and other portable equipment to power sources. Examples include lamp cord, appliance cord, and extension cord. SO, SJ, and SJO cables are types of flexible cords designed for various applications and environments. S stands for service cord, indicating it's a heavy-duty cord. SO stands for service oil-resistant cord, designed to withstand exposure to oil. SJ stands for service junior cord, a lighter-duty version of the S cord. SJO stands for Service Junior Oil Resistant Cord, a lighter-duty version of the SO cord. Now, let's dive into some of the more specific factors to consider. Conductor material plays a large role in wire selection. Copper is the most common conductor material due to its excellent conductivity and corrosion resistance. Aluminum is a less expensive alternative but has lower conductivity and requires larger wire sizes for the same ampacity. Insulation material also affects the wire selection. Common insulation materials include thermoplastic, cross-linked polyethylene, and rubber. Each material has different temperature ratings, moisture resistance, and chemical resistance properties. The number of conductors affects the wire selection. Single conductor wires are used for general purpose wiring and conduit are cable trays. Multi-conductor cables contain 2 or more insulated conductors within a single jacket, simplifying installation. The gauge refers to the wire thickness. Wire gauge is measured using the American wire gauge, or AUG, system. Lower AWG numbers indicate thicker wires with higher ampacity ratings. The NEC provides tables that specify the allowable ampacities for different wire gauges. Environmental conditions are crucial to consider. Factors like temperature, moisture, exposure to chemicals, and mechanical stress should be taken into account when selecting wire. Wires designed for wet locations, direct burial, or exposure to oil and chemicals are available. Lastly, approvals and listings are important. Ensure that the wire is listed by a recognized testing laboratory such as UL, Canadian Standards Association, or CSA, or Intertek, or ESL. This indicates that the wire has been tested and meets applicable safety standards. UL listing is particularly important for MTW cable, as it ensures that the cable meets the requirements for machine tool wiring applications. Selecting the right wire for a specific application requires careful consideration of several factors. By understanding the different wire types, their properties, and the applicable codes and standards, you can ensure a safe and reliable electrical installation. Always consult with a qualified electrician or electrical engineer if you have any questions or concerns. Proper wire selection is critical for safety and performance. The NEC is a comprehensive resource for electrical wiring requirements. It provides detailed information on ampacity, wire sizing, overcurrent protection, grounding, and other essential aspects of electrical installations. It's important to stay up to date with the latest edition of the NEC, as codes and standards can change over time. In addition to the NEC, other resources such as UL standards, manufacturers' data sheets, and industry best practices can provide valuable information for wire selection and installation. Remember, when in doubt, consult with a qualified electrician or electrical engineer to ensure a safe and compliant electrical installation. They can help you navigate the complexities of wire types, ampacity calculations, and code requirements. Electrical safety is paramount. Always energize circuits before working on electrical equipment. Use appropriate personal protective equipment, or PPE, such as gloves and eye protection. Follow safe work practices and adhere to all applicable codes and standards. Regularly inspect wiring for signs of damage or deterioration and replace damaged wiring promptly. By following these guidelines, you can ensure a safe and reliable electrical system for your home or business. The importance of using listed and labeled electrical products cannot be overstated. Products that bear the mark of a recognized testing laboratory like UL have been rigorously tested to meet specific safety standards. This testing covers a wide range of potential hazards, including fire, electric shock, and mechanical failures. Using listed products provides assurance that the product has been evaluated for safety and meets the minimum requirements for its intended use. The listing mark also allows inspectors and other authorities to easily verify that the product complies with applicable codes and regulations. When selecting electrical products, always look for the listing mark from a reputable testing laboratory. Be wary of products that lack a listing mark or bear a counterfeit mark. These products may not meet safety standards and could pose a significant risk. In addition to using listed products, it's also essential to follow the manufacturer's instructions for installation, use, and maintenance. Improper installation or use can negate the safety benefits of a listed product and create a hazardous situation. Regular inspection and maintenance are also crucial to ensure that electrical products continue to operate safely over time. Look for signs of damage, wear, or corrosion and replace products that are in poor condition. The NEC plays a vital role in ensuring electrical safety. It provides comprehensive requirements for electrical installations, covering everything from wiring methods and overcurrent protection to grounding and equipment installation. Compliance with the NEC is essential for preventing electrical hazards and ensuring the safety of people and property. Electrical inspectors are responsible for enforcing the NEC and other applicable codes and regulations. They review electrical plans, inspect electrical installations, and issue permits to ensure that electrical work is performed safely and in accordance with code requirements. Working with a qualified electrician is essential for ensuring compliance with the NEC and other electrical codes. Qualified electricians have the knowledge, skills, and experience to design, install, and maintain electrical systems safely and effectively. They are familiar with the NEC requirements and can ensure that your electrical work is performed in accordance with code. Obtaining the necessary permits and inspections is crucial for any electrical work. Permits provide authorization to perform electrical work and allow inspectors to verify that the work is performed in accordance with code requirements. Inspections help to identify potential hazards and ensure that the electrical installation meets safety standards. Remember, electrical safety is a shared responsibility. By using listed products, following the manufacturer's instructions, complying with the NEC, working with qualified electricians, and obtaining the necessary permits and inspections, you can help to ensure a safe and reliable electrical system for your home or business. The NEC isn't just for electricians, it's a valuable resource for anyone involved in electrical work, including homeowners, contractors, and engineers. Understanding the basics of the NEC can help you make informed decisions about electrical safety and ensure that your electrical systems are installed and maintained properly. The NEC is updated every 3 years to reflect changes in technology, safety standards, and industry best practices. Staying up to date with the latest edition of the NEC is essential for ensuring compliance and keeping your electrical systems safe. The NEC is organized into chapters, articles, and sections, making it easy to find information on specific topics. The NEC also includes numerous tables and figures that provide detailed information on wire sizing, overcurrent protection, grounding, and other essential aspects of electrical installations. Understanding how to navigate the NEC is essential for finding the information you need to ensure a safe and compliant electrical installation. Many online resources are available to help you learn more about the NEC. These resources include websites, articles, videos, and online courses. Taking the time to educate yourself about the NEC can help you make informed decisions about electrical safety and ensure that your electrical systems are installed and maintained properly.